For our activity today, we shall attempt something quite unusual. We will try to write an inspirational quote in the style of the text we are using. Now, normally at this stage of our writing, we are thinking of long paragraphs, a range of sentences, we are thinking of adjectives, adverbs, and we're looking at a very long text. This time we're stripping everything back and we're becoming very minimalist. Why is that? Well, if you think about it, our text is full of what I have called before affirmations. These are positive statements that help us face life in a more positive manner. Now, for something to be positive and memorable, it has to have a quick impact. It has to be short and snappy and powerful. And the best way to achieve this is through simple sentences. That doesn't mean that there aren't any other types of sentences in our story, but the majority of them are simple. So we are going to have to forget a little bit about everything we have learned in year 4 so far and concentrate on these simple sentences. Let's see what our author does. If you look at the text carefully, you will see that the author is using 3 different techniques to create impact. One of them is the use of contrast. Our author will use words that are opposite, pairs of words that are opposites. And another way he can achieve this, or another way he has to help him do this, is using the conjunction but and occasionally and. So of course these 2 conjunctions will be used in coordinating sentences. But let's look at some examples of the contrast he is using. So we have pairs of adjectives or nouns even that are opposites. So let's have a look. We have small, huge, more and less, wait, which is a verb, but he contrasts that with the word now, which does not imply waiting. The idea of strong and weak, ordinary and extraordinary. And nothing interesting. To always interesting. Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of our growth mindset, where we take a negative idea, here ordinary, and we turn it round to a more positive concept. Small, huge, ordinary, extraordinary. Could it be there's some growth mindset going on in our story? The author's next step is to use coordinating conjunctions to bring two simple and often contrasting sentences together to make his point. Now, I don't want you to underestimate the power of a simple sentence. We often tend to lose focus when faced with a very long, elaborate sentence. Short sentences sometimes is what is required to drive your message through and make an impact. Let's have a look at the third technique he's using, which is questions. That boy is full of questions. Let's have a look at some examples. This is all about the questions. Honestly, that boy does not stop asking questions. You will notice that for most of these questions, the question part will be quite long. What do you want to be when you grow up? It's a one word, kind. Think of the impact. Very long question, short answer. You remember the answer more than you remember the question. The only exception I found a bit is the horse. I think the horse is very thoughtful and considerate in his questions and answers that they tend to be longer. I think almost the horse is the opposite of the fox. The fox hardly ever speaks. But look at this again. Look at the contrast. When have you been at your strongest? When I have dared to show my weakness. Question, shortish answer. So these are three ways you have to help you structure your own inspirational quote. I will have a go at making one myself, and I like the contrast he's using, so I will try to think two concepts that contrast in order to create mine. I know already that some of you are thinking, where am I going to find inspiration from? I don't know what to write. Well, let's have a good think. Where do we normally look for inspiration about our lives? I can think of our mission statement. I can think of our growth mindsets. We discussed this earlier. They're a source of inspiration. And of course the Bible. Is there something in there you could use? This is only a start. Ask your friends, ask your family. So like I said, I want something to contrast for my inspirational quote. So I might look at the idea of light and go for light versus dark. Okay, and this is where Mrs. Kent will get a bit poetical. So let me think. Let's see, I will start with the dark because that is the negative concept. So I might say, when the world around you is dark, is dark. Okay, there's my dark expressions. Obviously now I need to write something including light. When the world around you is dark, shine a light. A light. Now what could throw a light in the world? And I'm thinking of all our children at school. So shine a light with your smile. And I have used the contrasting concepts of dark, whoops, where is it gone? Dark and light. Now we haven't finished, have we? There's something missing here. I want you all to be brave and take on an art challenge. I want you to include a sketch of your inspirational quote. So for me, I think it's easy. I might think of a dark, dark night. So that is my night. I'm sure you have better crayons and felt tips than I have. I might add a bit of black to make it really dark. And I might draw the mole here, the way Mrs. Pettifer has shown me how to draw him. Do his little whiskers there. There's the mole sitting on the grass. He could be smiling. But I'm gonna put some beautiful stars in the sky. And there you have it. That is my inspirational quote. Please email us yours. We love to see them.